she's a constituent as well. And we decided to go to the coffee and see what would happen. That's it.
Monica, what Jackie has explained what the passion she has for the idea. Maybe you could say something of your own motivations, your passion for being here with Jackie.
Right. Like Jackie, I came down to the Own the Fed rally and got pretty excited about the Capital Homestead Act and what I came down just to kind of see what it was all about. And when I did, and I went home, like Jackie, I was pretty excited about it. And then when Jackie called me and talked to me about the constituents' coffee, wow, I immediately wanted to be involved in that as well. And as we got on our conference call on Friday, and then Peter was talking to the scheduler and that sort of thing, it kind of grew legs, and I called down and I got a hold of one of Senator Brown's, he's a legislative correspondent, and I didn't know that was his title. We learned that today.
What was his name?
Kareem
Yakub.
Yeah. And he was actually really receptive to us, and I was kind of pushing, can we get a 15-minute before or after the coffee so we could have a little more time with Sherrod Brown and get Norman there to talk with him. The thing I liked about today, we traveled, we got in there, it was pretty quick. We could not get that 15-minute window, but Norm was able to talk to Sherrod Brown. We were able to, as constituents, make that happen. Sherrod Brown was receptive, I think, to the concepts, and he clicked in, he asked questions, Norm was great with the response. Jack and I talked to Kareem, the staffer fella, and Norm came over and explained to him, and he seemed genuinely curious and wanting to know. And so when Norm gave him the materials, my thinking is, let's make a friend in Kareem, and let's talk to Kareem, and let's stay in touch. And Kareem's got our emails, we've got his card, we've got his information. I am absolutely going to follow up with him, and I feel that by following up with him, if he gets sparked and excited about this, and of course he's in D.C., he's got Norm to tap into, it can, if he gets excited enough and he talks to Sherrod Brown and Sherrod Brown gets excited enough, I think that's all good stuff. It's a good way to go.
Do you think it can lead to passage of a Capital Homestead Act
I think
by next year, before the end of 2012?
I don't know for sure, but if we don't try, it never will happen. So I feel like what we talked about too, I feel like if we start our own local group and we grow our constituencies in Ohio, and then we come back and we say, hello, Senator Brown, we're back, and we're back with 25 other people that are from your, district that think it's a good idea too. I think that's powerful and helpful, and it keeps us all motivated. And during the meeting, when Kareem said, well, you got to give us a little more time, because we contacted him a few days ago to try and get the extra time, and he said, well, like 30 days, and I said, well, we're telling you right now, we want it right now in 30 days. So you need to sort of do things like,
get happy.
We're serious. We're here now, so it's 30 days from now, we want the meeting. Right?
Yeah, there's a family reason for this now. Your father was one of the soldiers of justice or servants of justice for many, many years. He probably knew of Kelso's ideas long before I did. And he had read Kelso's book. And we became friends. And he made many efforts. He tried to get Mayor Kucinich. He tried to get, he brought me or introduced me to the president of the Cleveland Fed. We had a long talk. Nothing happened. And your father was also a writer, so he did cover some of the initial victories in the progress of this back in the 70s. And then, but it's not just the two of you within the Woodman family.
Correct.
Okay, you got your brother Rob. We try to buy out the freight vessels from Ogilvy Norton.
Right.
It didn't. We didn't quite make it. But you have other members of the family. So what I see is the possibility of your father having spawned a whole bunch of revolutionaries.
Yes, I would totally agree with that. He instilled all of that into us.
Yes.
We thought that was normal. And then when we got out in the world, we realized it was different. And then we sort of looked and we're like, okay, you sort of feel fish out of water. But then now, especially today, I very much appreciate his knowledge, and although I internalized all of that, I feel that he was right in what he was trying to share with the world or bring about in the world. And it was 40 years, or it was my whole life, and I'm 46, okay, so he was really revved up in it when I came along. And I think that I don't want to see that just fade away. I don't want to see everybody's hard work. And that's what's spurring me again today, is I don't want to see everybody's hard work, these ideas, these solid ideas, this thing that can really, especially today, it's so visible today. It wasn't so much visible in my dad's time.
Right.
People were like, what are you talking about? But now, it's so much, it's almost like I think about things he talked to me about, even myself going, well, okay. But then as time goes on and it's real and visual and you really can see it, it makes this even more important to me.
Right.
The Homestead Act. It
Right.
makes
And
it more important to me. That I don't want this to slip away. I want it to happen.
I think
I don't want all that work to be for naught.
I think that people who are interested in the Just Third Way want to know a little bit about your professional background and both of you, because you're both succeeding in the world. And also, your son at Kent State, as you mentioned, that he seems to have some fire about this. And I think that's terribly important, because this idea deserves to go viral, and it does need united people who know how to organize, not be a one-man operation like your father now.
His age.
Yeah, he could be.
And with my son, his age.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's 21.
Yeah.
So, and I relate that to all the youth of today.
Right.
They need something to spark them, to get them motivated. Especially them, they're so affected with what's happening right now. There's no creativity. They almost get smashed out of the system, out of getting their degrees in college, and we've cultivated their minds and we brought them to a point where we've educated them, and then they come out and they're like, for what? We've sort of suppressed that, and so this is creative. This brings everything back, innovation back.
Okay, now the two things come to mind. What would you like a Senator Brown to do, and ultimately, I mean, how do we get the message out to America and to the world? What can they do what can he do to help move us forward? What are the kinds of things that people can organize to see, what are the ultimate goals or objectives, things we want to see happen as a result of today's meeting with Senator Brown?
Well, first of all, he needs to meet you. First of all, he needs to understand it, catch it, get excited about it, because if that doesn't happen, it goes nowhere.
Right.
So, and again, just following up and staying plugged in. And Senator Brown, if we can get him and we can get him to get excited about it, that's great. But it doesn't stop at Senator Brown.
Okay.
Like Jackie's talking, we need to talk to many other people. We need to talk to a lot of people so that we are catching the right people.
But if I see him taking charge of it, say he takes
Yes,
charge
if
of
he
it,
does
say
take
he
charge
tries
of it, yes, then
to
he's,
implement it, he
you know.
makes it, that makes it authentic, if you will, because we need it to make it authentic and real. And then what he can do with that, what this will do, is provide the tools and the things that we need to put into our system, not really put into our system, actually upgrade and make our system work better. And we need him to understand that, and I would hope that he'll understand it so that he can help get the power behind it to put it in place so that we all can be empowered
and
by
get
it.
people on board, other people on board in his capacity.
And
Right.
it
At
is
that
passage
capacity.
of the Capital Homestead Act by, hopefully, by 2012, to get, but who can he lead us to?
President Obama.
Right.
So that it actually can be, he can really get behind it, and he can really put in the tool that we need, that our country needs, that the world needs really, to bring about an economic system that everybody can participate in. That's the way I see it.
Are there any other world leaders that might carry the ball along with President Obama, or anybody who aspires to be the next Lincoln?
Some other world leaders?
Yes.
Well, we spoke of the Pope. That was somebody we spoke of. Maybe we can get the idea to the Pope. So we could work, and in that way we could work through our, our church, if one was Catholic or knew somebody, or just in that venue, we could maybe make some inroads there.
Sure. Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, because one of the things we do talk about is there's a need for an understanding of universal principles of economic justice. And I personally don't know of anything more elegant and simple than the Kelso Adler principles of economic justice. And it would be wonderful to have an encyclical on economic justice, and that would provide a vision for the future that I think all religious leaders ought to get behind, and the social encyclicals are very important, and we are in a war of ideas. And so it's going to be, how do we communicate those ideas? By law, and by having prominent speakers who the media and all the community will pick up on. We have to re-educate people as to what is this all about. What is this crazy thing called the Just Third
and we can accomplish that too by local groups as well.
Right. Well, this is great, and this gets us started. This is let's say we're on the initial path towards success, toward victory in the Second American Revolution.
Yes.